Alright, the Wolverine painting. This is the finished version, as you can see, and this is the very start of it. This is the pencils on Bristol board. And here's the beginning of the underpainting. This underpainting was painted with Pebeo extra fine gouache, and the color is Black Lake, which is similar to Lamp Black, the transparent watercolor you get with standard watercolor sets. The idea here is that you do pretty much all the details, the darks and the shading in a monochromatic fashion. In this case, it's black. And once you've finished that, you pretty much have a finished, sort of like an ink wash painting of it, and you glaze the colors over the top. And if you're familiar with the comic book heroics, the world of comic book heroics, I should say, you will recognize this guy as Wolverine. And I'm doing this painting for my table at Christchurch Armageddon, which is in March 2017. I'm kind of furiously working every day to get more stuff for my table. This video was done as a Facebook Live video. I just started, I used my iPad to record. Well, not record, is it? It's not recording, it's streaming. Streaming live my progress. I just started drawing. I did it for Inktober actually, and just kept doing it. And it's alright. And this video is sped up, obviously, but it's also edited down quite a bit on those live videos, which you can see on my Facebook page. They're the more I stop and start a lot. I hold up paint tubes and brushes and answer questions and things like that. I edited most of that stuff out just for because it looked weird actually for me, kind of waving my hands around the screen and holding up tubes of paint and stuff. Silence. Okay. With this painting, this is the second attempt at a Wolverine painting. I did one like the day before on a much smaller surface. It was like an A5 illustration board, and I tried to do a gouache thing with Wolverine, and I made a complete pig's breakfast of it. It looked awful. The joys of live streaming. Yep. And when I do stuff like that, people never know, but when you do it on a live on camera, whew, that's okay. So I kind of started again here on a much bigger surface, and yeah, was just better planned with it, but not so much so because I make two big mistakes with this painting. One of them being the hand. Most of this most of this video is taken up with me rendering that hand over and over and over again. I screwed up from jump. I should have drawn it a bit better at this penciling stage, and that would have given me a much better position to do the underpainting, so on and so forth. The other big mistake I'll mention when I come to it, but there's not much to say about this. I think the underpainting is pretty much done here. I'm getting ready to add flesh tone. Here we go, flesh tone, which is from Pebeo again. It's just a flesh color. This is one of this Caucasian flesh color, watered down quite a bit to make it somewhat transparent, and just glazed over the top. And it soaks in, showing the painting underneath. Scumbling is, I think, the technical term. Also add burnt umber. Now the burnt umber I'm starting here with is, oh no, that's Payne's Grey. Payne's Grey watercolor, and that is burnt umber watercolor. It's the Winsor & Newton artist grade stuff. And this is Payne's Grey. This is Core from Golden, spelt Qor. I got a set of those recently, and I quite like them. I tried to paint around the claws there, but as you'll see, it didn't really work. Okay, here's the second big mistake I made. I'm using, I think it's called Trichromatic Black from Pabeo, but I thought it was pretty much the same as Jet Black. It isn't. The finished version you saw at the beginning, the background of that is Jet Black from Winsor & Newton, and it is a very, very dark black. On camera and on scans and stuff, it probably wouldn't have made a difference, but in person, it actually does make a difference. Yeah, so I had to do it again. I should have really did the background near the end before I did the claws, but I didn't do it. I also used the airbrush a lot more than I planned to in this piece. I was only going to use it at the end to add some like blooms to the smoke and things. But I ended up using it to add gradations in the skin and shadows and things. It turned out alright. Yeah, so I do spend a lot of this. There's this is the burnt umber again, just to darken up the skin. And some variation of the skin, and I covered up that ear there because I didn't quite like the way it turned out. And you can see in the hand there, this is really where the hand starts to go south. I try to use sort of dramatic lighting. Oh, here's the airbrush, and I've sprayed the hand, covering it up with flesh tone, and added some. Here we go, burnt umber watercolor. And the skin, and a bit of black. And this is the next day. After buying some zinc white, I had to run into the city and buy some zinc white, which is better for this kind of scumbling technique. I was using titanium white before that, and that's very, very harsh. It's like adding details. So you can see here the face is pretty much done. And if I had been scumbling the smoke of the cigar, that turned out quite well. But as you can see, the face is pretty much done. And if I was more careful or planned it out better, the hand would be pretty much done, and this video would be half the length. But that didn't happen. By the way, that grey, the dog tags, the way I got that grey was I got the Payne's Grey, the core Payne's Grey and zinc white, and mixed it together. And I don't really have to mention it yet again, but this hand. Whew. But you live and learn. You learn from your mistakes, and you just don't do them like that. Do it like that again, and next time I do something like this, I will not. I'll concentrate more on the hand than I used to. One problem with the hand was that in the pencils I originally designed it with the glove from his costume. But then I realized after I started that that makes no sense. So I had to. Why would he be wearing this black gauntlet when he's not wearing the rest of his costume? So I kind of changed it on the fly. And when I jump back to some other part of his body, like his face or something, I'm giving the paint a chance to dry. This isn't like acrylics where once it kind of dries straight away and you can kind of work on it almost immediately. This gouache, it's a lot softer and it's a watercolor, so it picks up. You know, you put anything wet over the top of it, it's gonna start mixing. So you have to be sort of very gentle with it. You can see there, it's still too wet to think. Oh, it's depressing talking about it. I can talk about something else. No, not really. Yeah, this technique is I got from a Wizard special, a Wizard magazine. It was this magazine years ago called Wizard, and it was for comic book fans, and they did a special on Alex Ross, the great comics artist who paints. He's he's a painting dude, and he had hit a few years earlier, and they did this big special on him, and there was an article about how he did his thing, and I studied that article quite a bit, and I kind of was inspired to start painting, thinking I was just going to paint like Alex Ross, but I lost that notion pretty quick. I thought I'd be better off kind of painting like me, but I still use his this bastardized version of his painting technique. He would have rendered the hand properly. So at some point I decide that the hand is good enough and start with the claws. There is another airbrush stage which isn't on here. I didn't record it. And the very fine tweaking of the painting I didn't record. I actually did it this morning, as of this recording. Because it was just more just fine tuning stuff. Didn't think it'd be that interesting to share with the live audience. I could have recorded it, I suppose, but I didn't. I just wanted to get this thing done, because I gotta move on and do other things. And we're coming up to the end of this video. Oh, here come the claws. Yeah, permanent white gouache, Winsor & Newton. Which is a very nice paint, actually. Yeah. Very nice color to work with. And I add a bit of grey to give the blades a bit more form. And highlights of the hands. Still struggling with them hands. You can see in this high-speed video that the paint soaking into the paper, and Pretty cool. If it goes on really bright, then it just dulls. Yeah. So in the final version, when I added an airbrush, like a white bloom around the smoke and the shoulder, and like kind of a sparkle in the blade, just to add a bit of polish. And what you're about to see here is is a scan, and there he is, all finished and ready to be put into a frame. So thank you very much. I will be having more of these videos soon with my blah blah. I hope I haven't ummed and ahed and too much for you. So I will see you all again real soon. Goodbye.